All right, well, let's talk about Birds of Prey. Spoiler review.
Yeah.
Warning. Full spoiler review.
Jake, we need you to dub in like a woo, woo, woo for spoilers.
We've all seen it, so we're going to dive into it. It's probably in the title of this episode. So
It is the thumbnail.
yes. So let's get into it, guys. I guess first initial thoughts of the film. We haven't really talked about it. Maybe we've seen each other's social media reactions, but we
I
haven't
just
really
saw
talked about
yours. It tickled your little heart,
Yes,
huh?
it did.
I posted our live stream on Twitter, and the first thing that pops up is your tweet.
Oh,
tickled your
my
little heart.
Oh, yes, because
Your cold, dead
let
heart.
me explain that a little bit. So I love the Harley Quinn character, and there's just certain things in it. It's like I don't expect the writers and the creators of the movies to like be so locked into the comics, I guess, and I should have known better because there's just certain things that I'm like I did not expect. So, for example, the beaver in the apartment. I didn't even. Brian said it was in the marketing, like the posters.
It is. It's
and
in the
stuff.
posters.
I didn't notice it. So, and I was surprised they're using the hyena, which was really cool. And I was like, cool, we got the hyena. That's awesome. And then when I see the beaver in the apartment, I was like, oh my goodness, you should have seen the grin on my face. I was so happy.
I'm glad you explained that to me because I didn't understand the beaver
in
until
the comics,
you.
She has that beaver in her bedroom, and it's always talking to her, and it's always talking crap to her and judging her for things.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a move Margot Robbie made.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel a lot of the small like things that
Subtle-
you're picking up
subtle
on,
nods.
like the comic book stuff, is her.
I wouldn't be surprised because I guarantee you she's been reading, like since she started playing the character, she's been reading Harley Quinn comics like crazy.
At the bottom.
Oh, that's right. I should have noticed that. So anyways, like especially, I mean, I started reading Harley Quinn with the Rebirth run. So I started reading it since then. I never read anything before that. But and so in that, like she always damn beaver's there, and it's always, and even like when things would happen, like just like in the movie when her apartment gets destroyed or attacked, she always made sure she grabbed the beaver and took him with her. So I love that, and like the ending of the movie is really cool, who she's with and who's in her car. So, but not just that. Overall, I really liked the movie. I really did. I do have some issues with it, but overall, I'm very, very satisfied with this movie.
He did say yesterday that he had a mild heart attack when the hyena died.
I mean,
died then came back.
So when that happens, I was like, oh my goodness, no. But then when they didn't show him, I knew he wasn't dead.
Yeah, there was a party that knew that he was going to come back at some point.
See, now I thought he was going to be dead, and that was their way to save money on the CGI or whatever.
But they barely showed him again.
But I mean, So, but
I know why he should have been in a fight at the end. That's why they did.
He would have gotten shot, and then you would have been crying. And
no, hold on, no. You don't know why I'm saying no. No one's getting shot in this movie. That's my problem. There's no way.
Well, it's the end battle when they're sitting in the tunnel of the amusement park, and they're like 10 feet away from each other, and nobody's getting shot.
Yes, and even
it's like they're stormtroopers.
All the goons are gonna go after them inside the carnival thing with no guns. No way.
Also, there's also that scene as well when they're walking outside of the. Was it Booby Mile? I think it is. Booby Mile is the amusement
Booby
park.
Trap Mile.
Booby Trap Mile. Yeah, Booby Trap. They're walking out and they're like, "Oh yeah, nobody's gonna be standing out here. We beat them all on the inside," and they start getting shot at. It's like, wouldn't you think that there would be people standing outside still and then all didn't come in,
looking down at the and they know that wasn't all of their goons. Yeah, but also look, I do love this movie overall, but that was my main pet peeve with it. It's like, so even when Harley goes into the police station, there's no way. Those are trained officers.
They have firearms on them.
Someone's gonna shoot her.
They have firearms on them.
They don't care that she has a fake, beanbag gun. They would have killed her. Yeah. But whatever. We got to suspend our belief, right? But that was my major issue with the movie. Was the gunshots and stuff.
Mine is this. I mean, kind of comes back to DC, but like, I don't know if anything is connected anymore, if we need to start looking things as individual, because in my head, I don't understand some of the moves they chose to do with characters.
Like who? I mean, this is spoiler, so you can go all out.
Okay, so in my head, I'm like, okay, you just killed off Black Mask and can't use him again. You just killed off Victor Zsasz. You can't use him again. Well, those are two big, good Batman characters.
They are, but we have to remember. Look on the flip side of what Marvel does. They kill off a lot of their main characters, big villains, in one movie too.
Yeah,
and DC's more focused on telling single stories at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, and then you kind of just took the Cassandra Cain character and just made it.
Well, that's the one move that a lot of people were frustrated with. Is that they made her a kid.
So
they kind of changed.
Much about Cassandra Cain.
She's kind of a badass.
Yeah.
But she's not a kid in the comics.
Do in the comics?
Let me look it up real quick.
About her?
Let me look it up.
Not too much, but I don't know. I personally would have loved to see the Black Mask character keep going. He was
he was great,
entertaining.
At the same time, I was like, this guy gotta die.
Really?
No, look, I don't. Of course, I want to see Ewan McGregor play him again because he was fantastic.
They killed him. He's an evil human being.
Yeah,
he's an awful. And so I was with Jacob. He had to die.
Yeah,
he had to die.
Really?
Yeah.
Best death ever.
He died.
Ever. We didn't do best kill this year for Apocaflix Awards, but if we do best kill next year, that might win.
Literally, you saw the arms and stuff just go poof.
So first of all, Cassandra Cain, that might have not worked out the way she thought it was going to work out. She could have got blown up.
Yeah.
So that's bravery on her end, but also, Harley is a badass with the way she fights. I love the action in this movie, especially with Harley Quinn. And for those people who are gonna say there's no way she can fight like that, she was in gymnastics her whole life and grew up doing competitive gymnastics, and she's an acrobat. So she translated that skill into the ability to fight. And her style of fighting we've never seen in a superhero movie before. Because you have maybe Black Widow, right? She's very trained, real fighter assassin. Margot Robbie or Harley Quinn is using her acrobatic skills to fight, which is so cool because it makes those scenes where she's rolling with the rollerblades in front of the car and flips over believable, and it makes those action scenes where she's flipping around believable.
Well, do me a favor, pull this closer. Pull that closer, just so we can hear you a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
So the scene in the police station when they're in the back of the evidence room.
Oh yeah.
You see her flipping around, and when she flips the phone up and then kicks it on Renee Montoya's face. The way she uses the bat, or when she flings the cocaine at him and everything. It's not your prototypical fighting style, and in a real world aspect, it wouldn't work. But for this world, with the backstory she has, it works, and on screen it translates very well.
Oh yeah,
especially in the end scene when she's on rollerblades and doing all the things that she does.
She was on rollerblades on the spinning thing fighting.
Yeah. She's very
and Margot
talented.
Robbie said that was literally
she's very, very talented.
That was crazy.
Yes, it's awesome. It's the way she fights is, like you said, we've never seen it before, and I think it works out very well for this type of movie and the way that this universe is set up inside this world.
Yeah.
Because she complements. You have Harley Quinn, who kind of uses bats and mallets and uses her legs a lot, and then you have someone like this version of a Dinah Lance, who uses her hands a lot and she punches the crap out of people. Yeah. And then you have Huntress, who is just, again, very kind of acrobatic in a way, but she shoots the gun, right?
It's not a gun.
Well, she does use a gun. A gun and a crossbow. It's not a bow, it's a crossbow. That's what she was saying.
Crossbow killer.
Yes. And so they all complement each other very well, and it's very cool to see them kind of work together. That final fight scene when that giant tracking shot of everything happening was by far the best part of the movie.
And the hair tie.
Yeah, the hair tie was definitely the best. Everyone's freaking out about that on social media.
It's so true, how these women fight
how
in
girls lend each other hair ties all the time.
Well, but it's you always have these fight scenes with female actresses and their hair's going everywhere, and then
it's a totally Harley move. Hair tie?
Yeah.
It's just a Harley Quinn move.
Maybe the funniest line in the movie is when the F does she have time to make a shoe change?
Yes.
Because us as fans would wonder the same thing, but they called themselves out.
It's also just a callback to the comics, because things like that happen in the comics all the time.
And they didn't show it, but she totally went around a corner real quick and changed it into those.
Yeah.
And it worked out, because if she didn't have them on, she couldn't have chased the car. at the end.
So I really, it took me a while it took me until yesterday to kind of really say that I enjoyed this movie.
You came out looking like you were like,
it sat with me for a while, and I tried to kind of wrap my head around why it was sitting with me. I think the reason why is because it took him so long to become the Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
it
honestly was very slow paced at the beginning.
Yeah, and
after like the first 20 minutes, it was very slow paced.
So it really felt like I was watching a movie. So like a lot of times these days, like whether it's Star Wars or maybe even DC does it too, they do like these 5-book comic book arcs, right? They tell a story in like 4 or 5 different issues. That's kind of how I viewed the movie. It very much felt like they were separate stories in one larger story.
Yeah,
I think that's why it took me so long to kind of get my head around it, because it's not that it felt like it was 6 different movies in one. That's just how it was structured. And that's why I think I like it so much, because it takes chances on certain things.
It feels like a comic book.
It does feel like a comic book. Exactly. It feels like you're literally flipping the pages on certain aspects. You know, like one scene you're watching Black Canary and Black Mask, do their thing, and then the next one, all of a sudden, it's randomly seeing Harley Quinn inside a police station.
Or it's like
then they see a flashback of her understanding why she gets to the police station.
It's almost kind of like when she was like, "Wait a minute, how did we get to this?" It's like she flipped in the pages back.
It's totally structured like that, and I think that's why it took me so long to kind of get used to it, because it's different and it's just unique compared to everything.
Of told like a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like the flashbacks and everything, and then it kind of caught itself up a little bit, and then we kind of went forward. But I think the one major issue, I guess, is that they weren't together for the entire thing. It was literally maybe 15 minutes of them together.
Thing. It's not a Birds of Prey movie.
It's not. I think that's why I'm frustrated, because they shouldn't have called it that.
No. They should have called it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
I don't even think they should have called that. I think it would have been way too much of a title, but they should have called it The Emancipation of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That's what they should have called it.
Or literally just the Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Because they even solidified it at the very end. When the Birds of Prey name comes up, Harley Quinn's not even involved in that.
Yeah.
She's not in that team. And so she's not a Bird of Prey.
And neither is Cassandra Cain, so it was just those 3 characters were just the Birds of Prey.
It should have either been called straight a Harley Quinn movie, flat out, or you combine like Harley Quinn's and the Birds of Prey, or I like the funky title, The Emancipation of one Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
It goes straight wacky with the title.
Because that's the thing. Birds of Prey is the first thing in the title, so it makes you think it's a Birds of Prey movie, which it's not at all.
Well, and the TV commercials now are saying Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Well, they're talking that, but the logo says Birds of Prey. Exactly. And movie theater marquees, it doesn't say The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. It says Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And so people are thinking, and it's not Birds of Prey.
Well,
it's not a Birds of Prey movie.
Yeah, my ticket stub literally says Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's going to affect, like if they would have just called it Harley Quinn or something, a more simple title that indicates that this is a Harley Quinn movie, I honestly think it might be doing better.
Well, like, it's being hurt by, I think it's being hurt by the marketing a little bit, kind of confusing people. But I honestly believe that this movie could have been rated PG-13, minus a few scene changes. So, and the dialogue. There's a lot of F-bombs. Well, yes,
the dialogue
you can take back on that.
Totally
I think
agree.
this movie could have been the same exact movie, but been much more successful if it wasn't rated R.
I think
this isn't a necessary rated R movie.
At all.
To be honest, the only things that got it rated R was the cursing and probably that cocaine scene.
No, I wouldn't. I would say it's the hyena eating the leg.
Yeah,
that's an R-rated scene.
That's the thing.
That's an R-rated scene.
You don't have to do much to this movie to make it PG-13.
100%.
And that's probably hurting the box office as well, because you know how many high school girls probably want to go watch this?
Oh yeah, I work at a high school, and they.
Well,
all
I have a coworker who
it.
wanted to take her daughter, and then she's like, "Just let me know how it is." I told her, "I was like, you can't take your daughter."
And that's the thing. Now parents can't take their kids to this.
Now,
even though people were taking their kids to see Deadpool.
Now, didn't Deadpool do like a re-release in PG-13?
PG-13, but it was a completely different structure. It was a narration of Deadpool.
And people didn't like it. I never saw it, but a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. It is what it is. It was wacky, and I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I liked the one thing that did bother me was Renee Montoya was in it more than Huntress. And that
Huntress wasn't in it very much, which I was very disappointed by.
In it.
I loved everything with Huntress, the backstory, the storytelling, and even when they showed that flashback of that mob family being killed, I was like, the little girl didn't get shot.
Here's the thing, though.
Wait, before they told us that.
With that is, if you know, I mean, they clearly didn't use her as much because they wanted you to be shocked that she was the little kid. But if you know anything,
you know who she is
about Huntress, you saw that coming from the beginning. Like, I knew that was happening from the beginning, and to me that kind of bummed me out because they didn't use her for that shock value of, oh, she's the daughter. But like, if you know anything about that, you knew exactly who that was.
What do they call her? The crossbow killer?
The crossbow killer, yeah.
So the reason why I'm so disappointed in her not being there, well, there's two reasons. One, I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead is like one of the greatest working actresses today. I think she's so underrated, and I hopefully this role kind of catapults her.
She was so awkward.
But that's the second reason.
They did that on purpose, though.
Because her personality is so different compared to the others, and she's so awkward. I would have loved to have seen that play out more in scenes, because the backstory they gave her, she was isolated with men her entire life. She was isolated with men her entire life.
Because Harley Quinn says, "Oh, she was great at being an assassin, but sucked at everything else."
Exactly.
Meaning socializing.
I wanted to see that more.
Yeah.
And the last scene when they're at the Mexican restaurant and she's kind of having like she's laughing when she's not supposed to laughing. I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah.
And with it goes back to not seeing this group of women together. When they got together, I was pumped. Like, I was pumped.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough of that. There really wasn't enough of that.
I love the part where she kills Victor Zsasz and she's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go now.
Exactly. Her whole life's complete. She's good.
Exactly.
Like, that's it.
And
the fact that she didn't really care for the diamond.
Oh, she didn't care about it at all.
No,
well, I also don't.
There for.
Well, but it's
I don't know
the
if
Bertinelli diamond.
But I don't know if she knew about that.
That's true.
I don't know, because nobody seemed to know about that other than Black Mask. So.
That's true.
Well, Harley knew. She was telling us.
Yes.
But she didn't care about that either. She just.
Well, she was narrating it from after the fact, though.
Yeah, but she knew eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I love the way they portrayed Huntress. She should have been in it more, for sure. But the way that she's acting the role, she's doing that on purpose because she's supposed to be this oddball. Yep. And we saw that in the trailer where she goes, sure.
Yes.
Like, I love that line. And she was probably, other than Harley, probably my favorite character in the whole movie. I did like Black Canary, but not as much as Huntress.
It's funny because I went into this thinking I wasn't going to like Black Canary, and I walked out loving Black Canary.
I like Black Canary a lot.
There wasn't a character I didn't like. I'll say that. I liked every single rendition of the character.
Yeah.
I think that they were all standouts for, and we haven't seen a lot on the big stage of Journey Smollett Bell, who plays Black Canary. She's a brooding beast in this movie. Like, when she punches, people feel it. Like, you feel it. Her costume is terrible at the end of the movie, but whatever. That's just beside the point. Yeah, and I like Renee Montoya as well. I think Huntress was great. She's probably my third favorite because my second favorite is by far Black Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
I loved
You
Victor
could tell
Zsasz.
he had so much fun playing
He
this
was
role.
loving it.
He had so much fun playing this role.
I loved the relationship of him and Victor Zsasz. How they
So
were just
weird.
so
It's
weird
so-
together.
Like how they made Victor Zsasz very much of a creeper, which played into it very well.
When every single time, like, he what was it when they were in the club and he goes, is she making fun of me? Yeah, she definitely making fun of you.
No, he antagonizes him. He totally antagonizes. But that scene was hard to watch, man.
Oh yeah, that
ripping
was
the dress off the woman.
Yeah,
that was tough. I mean, they started off strong by literally tearing the dude's face off in the family, like cutting the faces off.
That.
Like, that's
I thought he was just
man.
cutting his throat.
Yeah,
and then it was like, I was like, oh my god.
And then it comes back later on by seeing the actual guy who it is. The storytelling aspect of it was really cool. Yeah. I think he was great, and it is a bummer that he died, but he did need to die.
Yeah,
but I think that he served this story very well.
I never thought that he was going to survive this movie be in another movie.
Not with a Harley Quinn in it. There's not with a Harley Quinn in it, for sure.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, as soon as he was cast as the villain, I was like, oh, cool. Like, I was always imagining it as a one and done. Mm-hmm. And that's totally okay, because he was amazing. It's hard for me to see Ewan McGregor in a villain role, but he played it so well that I didn't even
It was the perfect
that.
villain for him.
Yeah.
He's not the menacing, super serious, I'm going to kill you, don't test me type of guy. He's the jokey, the one who kind of has fun with it. Like this exact type of role.
But he's also, his character is a psychopath.
Well, that and it played in very well. When he put that mask on, I was like, oh, it's going down. Yeah, like it's going down.
The mask was an emotional wreck. Like he's all over the place emotionally.
And the mask was really cool. The mask was really cool.
It was.
Oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. I forgot where I was going with this. Skip me.
Yeah,
I liked it though.
What do we think about this? Is probably like the major last thing, but how do we think they handled the breakup of the Joker? Everything with that,
good. I was fine with it
because that's a big part of the story.
Oh, I remember where I was going with this, so come back to me. Sorry.
I liked it, but I felt like there was something missing not seeing the Joker.
You saw it from side to face.
Flashbacks, yeah.
Well,
and it wasn't. They shot new scenes, but it wasn't Jared Leto, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I understand why they weren't going to bring Jared Leto back for this role because they're scared or something. But I liked it. They did the best they could without having the Joker actually be in it.
I think it made sense, but it was it's not that it was glossed over, but it just happened very quickly. It was like a very, very sudden turn. Yeah. As far as like when she was with him, and then all of a sudden she wasn't.
Yeah,
I liked when she blew up Ace Chemicals.
Yeah, I mean, well, we saw that in the very first trailer. But the whole scene played out very well.
That was cool, and I think, what a lot of people are going to connect to is how heartbroken she was and how long it took for her to get over it. And I thought that was very humanizing for the character because we think that she's such a strong character, and she is, but her weakness is the Joker. Mm-hmm. And she was devastated. And I love how she just kept saying, like, I'm going to be fine. And then she's like crying her eyes out.
I don't think anybody in the history of the world has ever drinking more alcohol than Harley Quinn has.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That montage of her in the club and like, my God.
She took the 5.
My God.
It's so funny though, because the one thing I've been wondering since the trailer was, who is she crying over in that scene when she's like reaching out? The exam. I was like, oh man, one of the Birds of Prey is gonna die. That whole scene was awesome.
Like she's running and it's in her bra, and she's like, we're gonna have this one day.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great.
It made me want a breakfast sandwich really bad.
Well, it looked incredible. The whole montage of him making it is that's what the definition of this movie is. Like that's how this movie is.
She's just sitting there.
Yeah, like she's
that's the thing. Like it might seem super random, but she loves food.
Yes.
Harley Quinn loves food. She's obsessed with it. She's always talking about it.
She robbed the store of the food.
Oh, that scene was great. Yeah. That scene was great. Yeah.
The thing, I remember what I was going to say. The thing that actually shocked me probably the most was the fact that they talked about the other DC movies. Where she said like
how she saved the world and all those things. Well, yeah, I mean it's in the same shared cinematic universe.
I know, but I would have thought at this point like DC wants to kind of like step away from it. Hence why they were doing that with the Joker. Hence like other things.
Think they did. Correct me if I'm wrong. When they mentioned it, wasn't it within like 10 seconds of like one sentence they mentioned it, how like she saved the world, did all this, and it was gone.
Yeah,
well,
right.
She was like, nobody's like me.
So it was essentially just like it was essentially like a dialogue cameo of all those movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
I want to make sure I'm remembering it.
I'm just surprised that they even mentioned like
I did it in Aquaman too. Like
they talk about Bruce Wayne or something.
Yeah, no, talk about how they defeated Steppenwolf and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I understand, but like I would have thought by now, like it seems that they're going towards like singular movies at this point, that they would have wanted to distance themselves from the team up type movies, especially with the new Suicide Squad coming out. That surprised me. Like I thought maybe they would do subtle things.
I think they are, but as far as they'll go is subtle references like that.
I think that they're leaving
it. Be in the Suicide Squad though.
I think yes. I think they're leaving it.
I'm so
happy I think they're leaving it open for a reconnectivity later on down the line.
Yeah, it was funny though because I did when she goes, "Hey, I know that guy," and it's the Captain Boomerang post. I was just like, I love that guy.
I do agree. I think one day we will go back to the connectivity. And I do think one day we will get another Justice League movie, but probably far down the line because I think like Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman would play so well on screen together. Can you imagine Shazam and Aquaman together? Like
Harley Quinn in there too.
How he's always in Shazam, he's always bashing Aquaman.
So I was doing research on this yesterday because I was just very interested. But in the comic books, Joker and Harley Quinn broke up. They're not together anymore. And I think it was yesterday they actually revealed that DC created a new girlfriend for Joker called Punchline. Like there's a new girlfriend coming down the line, and so they're talking about how Harley Quinn has kind of turned the table and she's like helping out Batman in certain stories and stuff. So I'm not saying
at the end of the movie, the after credits scene, where she goes, "Did you know Batman was?"
I'm not saying that she's gonna be in a Justice League movie one day, but I could very much see Warner Brothers giving Harley Quinn the Deadpool factor, where she's an anti-hero, and when she's really needed in that situation, she does help them. Yeah. And I would love to see that because she's that type of character.
Well, that's basically what they did in this movie. They made her anti-hero.
She could very much be WB's Deadpool.
No, she's a badass mercenary.
And a dog walker. And a dog walker.
I love the business card thing. Just throughout the whole movie. Yeah. And she's like, "Can you reach in my pocket?" And it's like, it's the business card.
There's so many things that we haven't been able to talk about that just Harley Quinn does in general that I loved within this movie.
No, I agree with you though. Like, she's not gonna be in a space battle with Superman.
No,
but she could totally help Batman with something.
She may not be at this level because Black Widow's an Avenger, but she can very much be a Black Widow type of character where she's the human on the team.
Yeah,
and she does stuff on the ground.
And the thing for me is, in Suicide, even though I loved her in Suicide Squad, I never believed that they even needed her because they never established that she was a great fighter in Suicide Squad. They tried to play that, she uses her psychological angle to help the team, but it didn't really work in Suicide Squad. After this movie,
it works.
I totally believe that she can first go out and fight alongside those people, just like Black Widow does. Black Widow doesn't have any powers, and she could definitely use her mind games and her psychological aspect.
I can't wait to see James Gunn do stuff with her.
In that movie, gonna be awesome. Especially that movie's gonna building off of this.
Well, and that's gonna be a telling of where the future holds, not just with her, but with the universe. Like if he uses her in a specific way, we're gonna know going forward where her role is.
That'll show us like, okay, they can do the shared cinematic universe thing and make it work. And I trust James Gunn. So, do we even know anything about that movie, plot wise or anything?
Nope. It just said it's going to be more grounded. James Gunn has said it's going to be much more of a grounded type of movie.
He's for sure going to kill off at least 75% of that cast, and it's going to be hilarious.
I wouldn't go that far.
He has lesser named people for a reason.
No, I know, but I wouldn't say he's going to kill off 75% of them. That's a big number. That's a big number.
There's that cast is like 20-something people.
Yes, but they're not all going to have major roles.
That's what I mean. They're going to get killed.
We'll see.
Who was the guy in Suicide Squad who gets his head blown off like in the first?
Harbinger. No, not Harbinger.
The guy who swings on things.
Yeah,
it's funny because I wanted to say
like they're all marketing him part of the team, and he just gets his head blown off right in the beginning of the movie.
I'm gonna look it up.
Something.
It's like Slingshot or something, but that's not it. It's something like that. But no, I freaking love this movie. All right, look, I'm gonna say I have not seen Bad Boys for Life, but honestly, I think this is the best start to a year in movies and that I can remember. We're barely.
What else have you seen?
We're barely in the beginning of February, so we're like 5 weeks in, 6 weeks into the year.
Yeah,
and there's been 3 great movies.
So Bad Boys for Life, I haven't seen it.
The Gentleman.
But also The Gentleman.
Gentleman was
great.
Amazing.
Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I love this movie. I don't remember being in the 6th week of the year and having 3 movies that are like a lot of people like and universally loved. So I'm excited for this, and hopefully the box office doesn't harm it too bad.
Slipknot.
I said Slingshot.
Slipknot. Yeah.
Hopefully the box office doesn't hurt it too bad, but this is another win for DC. I mean, at least critically, and if you count these string of wins, people are going to have to stop talking crap about DC because
I think they've already reached that point.
Yeah, but there's still some fans who
is this 3 in a row successful as far as critics go? Correct. Outside of Joker. The DCEU, right? Aquaman, Shazam, and this?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 in a row critically. You
last time I saw
Joker, that's 4.
Was 86.
And then if Wonder Woman 84 does what we think it does.
And if this can make a little bit more money, because right now it is struggling pretty hard.
But its budget was only $84 million.
Yeah, but it's only going to make like 45 opening weekend. And then you count into the fact that it might drop next weekend.
Have we released in China?
It's R-rated. China's not going to hold on to this. That's the big problem.
No, it should have been PG-13, to be honest.
And I think they now know But if you haven't seen it and you're go support this movie. I put it up on Twitter.
Please.
Support this movie.
Yeah,
because it's not just because it's R-rated or that it's an all female cast. Like it's a good, fun, wacky movie. It really is.
Very unique for comic book films as well. And I'm definitely going to be seeing it a couple.
I thought about this morning going to see it sometime this weekend again to kind of like just get a little bit more refresher on it.
Take Gab to see it.
I told her she doesn't seem interested in it, but I think she'd enjoy it.
Tell her it's a badass chick fighting movie.
Yeah, but we'll see.
No, for sure. Yes, please go support Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. All right, before